Hello, everyone! Boom managed to literally outdo himself last time when he published the full version of episode 73, because it not only contained a secret scene in it for us, but also had some remade moments of the original episode's content. And this version gave me even more material to discuss, because in there we saw the actual return of human beings in Skibidi Toilet Multiverse. And aside from that, we also witnessed some mysteries that are to be unveiled yet. But trust me, I already have some thoughts about it. So in today's video, you're gonna learn what actually happened to humans in Skibidi Toilet Universe. Who was this group of people we were shown at the end of the secret episode? What did they do on this Skibidi base? And how are they connected to the forces of the Alliance? And most importantly, why is this secret leak the most insane piece of Skibidi plot we have so far? Get your tea and snacks ready, and prepare to watch this video to the end because I saved the craziest information about this leak for later. Let's go! So first thing first, I'd want to start with the idea, who were all these people on the last Skibidi base? And why Camerawoman was the first one of the Alliance to find them. So let me point out some significant details about these people to you. First of all, they are not actually the first humans we saw in the latest episodes, because as I stated in my analysis of this secret scene, we have already seen the human body dressed in military uniform at the beginning of the first part of episode 70. Which means that this group of human survivors is not the first and apparently not the last group of people in this universe. Second thing is that those people were actually hiding from Skibidi toilets because the room they were in was barricaded. And although they have soldiers with weapons to protect them, it didn't seem like they were on a special mission against Skibidi toilets. And it was more likely that they were just trying to hide and survive for as long as possible. The third thing is the diversity of their outfits. In this group, I saw a female police officer, 2 secretaries, apparently a scientist, and 3 soldiers, combined with this mysterious prisoner we saw in the left corner of the room. And believe me, I have a lot to say about him, but I will do it closer by the end of this video, so keep watching it not to miss anything important. Okay, so I see 2 possibilities here. Either it may be a completely random group of people who accidentally gathered together in an attempt to find some kind of shelter and survive, or maybe this Skibidi base was actually some sort of prison at first that was controlled by real human workers. But then the whole Earth buried into complete chaos due to the spread of Skibidi virus. And the people that used to be prisoners and guardians had to unite and forget about the human laws that stayed in the past. But why it was Camerawoman exactly who wanted to find them? Because when she heard the sound of fighting, she was the first one to literally flee to the rescue, while the rest of the Alliance's soldiers stayed on their spots. I think that this was not a coincidence. And now I'll explain to you why. I believe that all this time, Camerawoman had a special task to follow that was assigned to her specifically. And she was apparently on the mission to locate the remaining human survivors and save them from getting captured or destroyed by the Skibidi toilets. And that's why she didn't try to shoot them when the soldiers started shooting her as she entered the barricaded room, although she raised her arm with a gun automatically on reflex. And here's an even more surprising thought for you guys. What if she rewound all these memories with Plunger Man and Mecha Scientist Cameraman back to the very first memory that was captured on camera, because she wanted to not only refresh the image of Plungerman in her head to fight more fiercely, but also to remember how the actual human beings look like exactly? Because right now I'm following my completely new and insane theory about the Skibidi lore as a whole. So in case you didn't watch my video about it, let me point the most important ideas from it, so that you will understand why Camerawoman needed to remember how the humans look like before going to her mission to save them. So in my video about the true nature of the Alliance and Skibidi virus, I returned to the first flashback of Camerawoman, where she and Plungerman in their human forms were testing some mysterious project that involved opening the gates, whose purpose still remains to be unclear. And initially I assumed that the people in this scene were the Alpha Hills laboratory workers, and the secret agent was their new administrator who planned to reach other worlds with the usage of this mysterious gate, which could be in fact a portal. But now as I thought it all through, I have another theory which is much more complicated and crazy, but I think that it makes the most sense. So now I have a different perspective on Alpha Hills. I think that it was not the secret agent who was the administrator of the whole complex, but Male 09 who he was shaking hands with in this iconic picture. while the secret agent himself could in fact represent government forces that assigned a new administrator on this position, and it was Male 09 who was selected and approved by them. And now the figure of Male 09 seems even more important now, as I got the information on this secret leak that I'm going to show you by the end of this video. So the secret agent is likely not part of Alpha Hills or Group C, but he actually represents a larger entity. I actually divided the Alpha Hills experiment and the Group C project into two completely different categories. And why I did so, I explained with much more detail in my Skibidi lore video, so you can watch it if you want to know more about my awesome theory. So right now, let's talk about Group C instead, and how it's being connected to the actual human beings that existed before the Skibidi virus outbreak. So I suggested that Group C was one of the three possible groups that opposed Alpha Hills organization, and it was them who created special robotic bodies that could be controlled by humans. While the survived humans themselves had been hiding in some shelters, they also confronted the infected Skibidi toilets using the special bodies they could control from the distance. They still contain their original memories and emotions while operating these robotic bodies. And that's why Camerawoman still uses her iconic gestures that she used while being a human. And so does Plungerman. But here's the thing. The war between Skibidi toilets and the Alliance's members lasts so long at this point that people that are operating their special robot bodies could gradually forget that they are in fact humans and not cameramen, speakermen, or TV men. So that's why Camerawoman had to re-watch her most important flashbacks not to forget how the actual human beings look like. And that she also was a human once. And right now, she's in a robotic body. And here's a little catch I noticed while watching this new secret scene. Do you remember a scene where Camerawoman looks at her hand and notices blood coming out of it? Which is really strange, because keeping in mind that she's a robot, how would she have blood in her body? And now I can explain it while addressing my global Skibidi theory once again. Maybe it was not the actual blood, but something similar to a phenomenon called phantom limb pain. It happens when people who lost their arms or legs can still feel some sensations in places when their missing limbs were, because human brain is a really tricky instrument. So what if Camerawoman was just in her robotic body for so long that she started perceiving herself as partly human again? Although I'm pretty sure that her real human body is being hidden in some other place, and now she just uses her robotic body for more than several months in a row already. But that's still a pretty tricky detail, because we saw blood coming out of bodies of some members of the Alliance in the earlier episodes. And that's why this whole discourse about cameramen being either cyborgs or fully robots still cannot die at once. Okay, and now let's discuss the hottest topic for today. And by that I mean this secret leak that Elite Cameraman received from Boom 2 months before actually, but it was forbidden for him to reveal it to the larger audience until now. So that means that this leak wasn't allowed to get published before the publication of the full version of episode 73 with the secret scene in it. But why it was so? Let's take a look at this leak and I'll explain you everything in detail. In this leak, we can see a sly, smiling face of Male 07 dressed in the prisoner's jumpsuit. And also check out how his facial expression is actually a mix of two memes at once, which is a Chad face and a Riz face. And to me, it looked pretty hilarious, so Boom is on point with memes as always. And also shout out to Skibidi mewing, y'all. Let's not forget this iconic
masterpiece.
And looking at the location behind his back, I would really love to say that it looks similar to the surroundings near the last Skibidi base where the people were found, but unfortunately they didn't seem that alike to me. So maybe it is an image of Male 07 from some other location, or maybe it's a hint to the future episode he'll be featured in. But here's the crazy thing though. Do you remember this suspicious and creepy guy at the end of the additional secret scene, who was also dressed in a prisoner's jumpsuit and smiled at Camerawoman like crazy? In my analysis of this secret scene, I suggested that this guy can actually be infected with Skibidi virus, because he's the only one here who doesn't wear protective earphones that could have protected their owners from the infectious Skibidi Skibidi song. I said that he could be either a traitor among these human survivors, or he may be already infected, and soon there'll be a risk that he will turn into Skibidi Toilet and put the rest of his human mates to the great danger. But what if everything is in fact even crazier? What if this creepy guy is exactly Male 07 we saw on this leak? And that's why Boom prohibited Elite Cameraman from spreading it before the secret episode's release, so that no one would expect to see Male 07 in it. And there is also another crazy detail that I noticed on this leak. Do you see this weird piece of black metal with something red on it? This is actually a cannon of the UFO toilet. And dude, I have so many questions about it. What is he doing here, and how exactly is he connected to Male 07? Is Boom going to continue the plot arc of Male 07 from Multiverse of Beatbox, where it was hinted that Male 07 was able to move between different universes? I really hope that Boom will reveal some of these mysteries to us in the next episodes. So it's apparent that we'll see some crazy plot twist involving this guy. And maybe we'll learn more of Male 09 as well, who is in fact the true administrator of Alpha Hills Complex, according to my global theory. And that was all for today. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you did, hit the like button below, and also be sure to write a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube and Discord channels not to miss my new interesting videos. And that was me, ISOTOILET. See ya!